Hi guys, Tamara here from Nitrate Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've made a video like with the face and all, and that's because I have been making videos. It's just that I've been posting mostly on my Patreon, and I've been sharing about my craft and about like my ancestry and, you know, all that witchy goodness and some tarot tidbits, and we've been doing the 78 pieces of tarot on there and all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in all of that, come join us. My tiers start at $1, so you can get an insight. It's literally called the insight on purpose, so you can see if you like it or not, and then maybe, you know, get a higher tier. So that's that. But I've also been thinking for a while about just doing more videos for YouTube, and I don't know why that is, but I've just been feeling it, I guess. And also I have to say that Lady Gravedancer came back to YouTube, and it's 2021, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna say the F word. I'm gonna try to not say it, but whatever, you know, I'm not gonna get my videos monetized anyway, so fuck it. There you go. But that woman came back, and I'm totally excited. And I'm like feeling the groove of it even more now, and I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna decide what goes on like public YouTube and what goes on my Patreon. But of course, like the more on hand stuff, like I'm not gonna say the more special stuff, because it's not like that, but I guess more private stuff, more, you know, everything that I don't feel comfortable posting on public YouTube will go on my Patreon still. And, you know, my patrons will get all those special tidbits, like on-hand recipes, and, you know, directly from my Book of Shadows, rituals. We have our little community on Discord, which is amazing. Of course, all of those like little printable thingies, and of course the 78 pieces of tarot challenge and the workbook all went to my Patreon. So I also wanted to address that. My the 78 pieces of tarot as started as an Instagram challenge, and on my previous video that I did on this channel about that, I stated that you can join a private group on Facebook where we're doing the challenge. And we did that challenge previous year. Well, not like 2019. Yeah, that's when we did the first one with the Marielle Tarot. And then last year I decided to do it exclusively on my Patreon, and also so I can provide safe space. There's less of us there because in that Facebook group there's like hundreds of people, and we were able to share more, you know, kind of deeper insights, I guess. We were able to have more intricate debates, and also I created the entire workbook that goes with that, and I'm gonna do a separate video about that and just show you the workbook and all that good stuff, and all of that is available on my Patreon. So that's that. If you're interested in the 78 pieces of tarot, go to my Patreon. I'm gonna post the link in the description box thingy, and you can go check it out. But what I wanted to talk about today is a little situation that is going on in my family house, in my childhood house, so at my parents' house. And in my parents' house we have it's a big house. There's always been like many families living there, so me, my aunt and her family, and my other aunt and her family, and my grandparents and stuff like that. So it's always been a full house. And my cousin is now still living there, and she just messaged me a couple of days ago, and like she was freaking out. And our house has always been active with stuff, like with all sorts of things. I'm still not sure why that is, because it happened even before my grandpa died, and you know, that stuff kind of stirs the energies. But that's you know, stuff has been there before. So what happened is she sent me this long ass text message, and she's freaking out. And basically what she says is she's in one of the apartments in the house alone. She keeps all of her doors locked, and she kept hearing footsteps in her apartment on the hallway. And also she said it sounded like somebody was talking, but almost like whispering or talking really quietly. And then that night, that like after which she messaged me, she she said that there were footsteps. So first it sounded like somebody was like pulling on the door handle. So literally somebody opening the door, coming in, walking through the hallway, walking into the kitchen, because her kitchen is like right on the opposite side of her bedroom. So, you know, it's a hallway like this. Here's her bedroom and here's the kitchen. So, you know, the doors are, you know, there's just the hallway between the doors of the kitchen and the bedroom. And somebody like walked on this hallway, and apparently it sounded like it went to the kitchen and opened one of the cabinets and closed them back. And then she said it sounded like she said that something slammed in her bedroom door, and it sounded like somebody, you know, like somebody would push someone into it. It sounded like that. And that was it. But she was really scared. She didn't want to go look. And her cat that was with her hid in the closet. So, of course, like, immediately she's just like, oh my god, Tamara, you have to come over, like, check this out. What the fuck is going on? I don't know, freaking out. You know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we're all used to some kind of activity in our house. Especially since our grandfather passed away, and it's been like, it's been a long time. It's been like 12 years, I think, or something like that. Yeah. Fuck, I'm getting old. Yeah. It's been 12 years since our grandfather passed away. And a couple of years ago, we also lost our cousin, my cousin's brother. So like the cousin I'm talking about right now, her brother has passed away. And we've been, you know, we know when it's one of them. And she immediately told me, like, I know it's not any one of them. Because I know when it is, and I know how they kind of act and stuff like that. So now we're considering doing this whole thing of me going there and dealing with this situation. But I did want to show you how I deal with these types of situations and how I go about it. And, you know, there's a lot of people that will come up to me or call me or whatever, and that will be like, oh my god, you know, this and that happened. I feel like, you know, my place is haunted, or I feel like somebody put a curse on me, or, you know, so any of that sort of stuff. can you please help me? And that's the gist of it. And I just wanted to share basically how I go about this stuff. And I don't know why, but I feel pulled to burn a little bit of my incense for some reason. It's been a long day. I'm kind of tired. Been to work, and you know, with COVID and all of that crap, people are stressed, and it gets to you. Okay, so first things first. What I do first, I will go to some sort of a divination. Very often that will be my pendulum, and I have different kinds of pendulums. I make pendulums as well. I'm gonna see if I can get them out so I can show you guys. And I used to didn't like, what kind of a sentence is that? I used to didn't like. Is that a proper sentence? I don't know. I'm Slavic, y'all. I can't speak English properly. I used to didn't like using my pendulum. This is one of them. I like this one because it has a little chamber, and you can put like various items in there, herbs, animal parts, bones, whatever your heart prefers, crystals, whatever. Or even like if you're looking for somebody, you could put like a piece of their clothing in here or whatever, you know. Yeah, so I didn't like using my pendulum. This one is a brass one, very heavy. I like this one. I like them all. But I feel like I didn't know how to properly work with my pendulums. I was always drawn to it, but I didn't know how to properly, you know, there was like a couple of steps in between of me not using it properly and using it properly. So yeah, and if you want to know more about how I work with my pendulum, you're welcome to check out my Patreon once again. But yeah, this is another one. It's a smoky quartz. I freaking love this one. It's very responsive. What is this? Oh, okay, yeah. So, and this is my main baby, okay? This is a pendulum that I've made myself. And I make these custom also for other people. And they are spirit pendulums, and they will have specific items within them. This is made with epoxy resin. And they will have specific items within them that they're kind of tied to the spirits of the pendulum, if that makes sense. And that spirit can be, you know, a spirit guide or a deity or an ancestor, or you know, it can be fairies or whatever, angels, whatnot. It can be animal spirits, it can be plant spirits, whatever. You know, people usually know what they need, and then I just work with that spirit and I get instructions on what they want me to put in there. And this is mine, and this is a nightshade berry. So it's a deadly nightshade. I picked it myself, and then has amethyst chips and some other good stuff in there. So I will usually go to my pendulum now that I know how to work with it properly, and it's been accurate for me ever since. I will usually go to my pendulum. Sorry. I will usually go to my pendulum and just ask away. I'll ask, you know, what is going on? Is this really the case? Is maybe that and that going on? I will give it several different, you know, options and see what's up. So that's one that's one way to do it. I know that a lot of people like to use cards, and you can use cards, but I find that cards are not specific enough for me when it comes to these kind of things, when I just need, you know, those quick yes and no answers. So I will either use my pendulum, or I will be using cowrie shells. And I know that this is a technique that is used in some of the Yoruban traditions, and I know that in Palo Mayombe it's used, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm not using them in that same specific way that they do. This has been this has been taught, you know, to me. I don't know how to speak today, fuck. I've been taught of how to use these shells by a friend of mine. Her name is Yasmina, and she has a channel, but she has sadly passed away a couple of years ago. But her channel is still up. I think it's called Ancestral Witch. She's really badass, and she has been initiated, and you know, in Palo. And she hasn't gave away any of their, you know, tradition, and you know, because it's very initiatory tradition, and you can't just, you know, come across this shit anywhere. But she did, you know, share this little thing with me that you can find basically anywhere if you Google it. And I've kind of been using it in my own way since then, and it's really worked for me well. So currently they're in this shot glass, just cleansing, and they're good to go. I've just put in some full moon water, and this one is from Samhain. I'm just gonna take them out so I can show you guys how I use them. And you know, when it comes to things like this, like these even, you can, you know, don't be afraid to go your own way, to use your own stuff, to, you know, find your own way of using things and find what works for you. And what I use these shells for mainly is for communicating directly with my ancestors. And with this situation, I wanted to go directly to my grandfather, because my grandfather passed away in that house. And he's there a lot, and he will know if something is going on, right? So, sorry, this is what the shells look. Whew, damn. Sorry. I'm trying to do this properly. I'm out of shape with making videos. This is what the shells look like. So you will see that my shells have one part, you know, cut open. And what they will, you know, the difference between how they fall is they will fall either open or closed. Which way is open and which way is closed, it's totally up to you. It's basically like you could even use coins for this, you know, you just need two different sides. And what I interpret it, what I interpret it as is this side is closed for me because it looks like teeth. And it's a big no-no when I see teeth. But for somebody, this is going to be, you know, teeth, mouth, they're speaking. But since I have this side cut off, I see this side as more open. So, what I do is I hold them in my hand. And of course, I am focusing on what I need to know. Very specific, you know. This is about yes and no questions. You know, you're going to be getting yes and no answers. And then what I will do, I will hold them up to my mouth and I will blow my breath into them to awaken them. Either that, or I will ask my questions into them. So I am sharing my breath with the shells, and I'm asking the question directly. But the aspect of breath to me is very important. And then I'm gonna cast the shells. So you just throw them on. And now what happened is 2 are open and 2 are closed. Now you can also play with this a little bit and see in what pattern they fall in. I never went that far because I never needed it. But if there's 2 open and 2 closed, it's a distinct yes. It's like, it's, you know, I see it as this balance of energies, and it's like, yeah, no doubt. Yep, yes. Also, if you have 4 open, if you have 4 fall open, it's also a yes, and it's also seen as a big blessing. Of course, if there are 4 that are like no, like closed, it's a big no. It's a big no, and also kind of a warning. Perhaps something is going wrong, like be careful, you know, that sort of stuff. If 3 are open and 1 is closed, I will see that as yes, but there's like that little thingy that you still need to work on, or maybe you need to give some offerings to your spirits, or maybe you need to fix some, like something, the way you do something, or, you know, something of the sort. And then if 3 are closed and 1 is open, it's a no. It's a no, but there is like a tiny hope that you can maybe work towards a better solution in a way. It's like no, but maybe, you know, there's something else that you could focus on, or maybe there is some other way you could go around this. It's like that little glimmer of hope, and maybe some, like, maybe a different option that you're not currently seeing. And that's how I see it. Very simple. I just use 4 shelves, and that's it. That's it. You could even use, like, as I said, coins, and decide, you know, if the heads, like which side is yes and which side is no, you know, for the heads and the numbers. And just do it like that. You can even do it like that. Or you can just, you know, take 4 rocks and even write on them like yes, no, or maybe not that. I wouldn't write that, but maybe, you know, have one side painted black and one side painted white. I don't know, whatever. Just to have that distinct difference. And then see what your answer is when you cast them. I wouldn't write yes or no because it's not that simple. But yeah. So when it comes to cases like this, I will always do divination to see. Damn it, I can't record today. I will always do divination to see what's up. All right? Let me just attach my phone again to this thingy. I'm a mess. Coming back to YouTube with this horrible video. But yeah, so as I was saying. And one other step, when I'm finished asking the shells, or if I get the 4 closed shells that are kind of a bad omen sort of a thing, or maybe, you know, you need some cleansing, or, you know, something really, you need to be really careful about something. Especially then, but just in general, after I'm done, or if I get that answer, I'm gonna probably immediately stop asking and then do some workings, like cleansings, blessings, and whatnot, and then come back to it again. But in the meantime, I always use water, and I just drop them in, and they will cleanse themselves. You can add herbs to your water, you can add salt, whatever floats your boat, okay? So yes, when it comes to this specific situation, I looked into it, and, you know, answers were kind of confusing. I was also connecting directly to our house through my black mirror and channeling some of the energy, and that gave me a lot of information because my grandpa wasn't really clear on whatever I asked him. So, but that dude is a trickster. He's always been a trickster, so sometimes he just plays pranks. But I doubt that that was him. I also, like, after I did that, I flipped some cards to make some things more clear, or maybe give me some more specific details, I guess. So yeah, I have done some workings. I haven't been there physically yet because I'm trying to avoid meeting people that I don't have to meet. Not because I don't want to, but because COVID. So I've done some workings, and I give my cousin some instructions on what to do on her part, just to see, as I was saying, just to see how she, you know, if it was just some sort of an imbalance of energy in the house, or if there's actually something that I have to go there and do my whole, you know, the whole cleansing. And I would, you know, what I would do is basically go there, talk to her, see what else she has to give me, and just feel the energy, of course, do perhaps some divination, and then do a big ass banishing ritual if it's needed, or just some cleansing, and of course put down some protection and stuff like that. But we will still see. There's still a couple of days left of, you know, just feeling it out and seeing what happens. So that is that. I hope you found this helpful. I'd love to hear how you deal with situations like this. Do you get any hauntings in your house or in whatever? Do you get called when there's like a magical witchy emergency thingy, and how you deal with it? So that's that. So just heads up on the divination part. Don't forget about that. Don't just go head on into something because you don't know what it is, and you always want to know what you're dealing with first before you do anything else. So that's that. And of course, if I will be going there, like if I see that it is needed for me to go there and do the whole ritual, I decided to make it into a video. But because it's gonna be a little bit more private video, I'm gonna be filming in my childhood home, and I'm probably gonna be getting some, like, you know, my cousin on the camera and her explaining what's been happening to her, and, you know, probably recording the whole ritual that I'm gonna be doing and showing you guys, you know, the whole thing. That video is probably gonna go on my Patreon. So just a heads up. I didn't want to make this video as like a, you know, hey, come to my Patreon. No, it's not. I promise you it's not like that. But some things I feel more comfortable posting there because it's a smaller and safer community. So yeah, but let's see how this YouTube thing goes, and if there are any specific videos, any specific topics that you guys want me to talk about, please comment down below, ask me witchy questions, tell me what you've been doing, how are you starting off your 2021. Yeah, so let's get excited about this. And yeah, thank you Tequila, aka Lady Grave Dancer, for inspiring me to get back to this. Yeah, so many blessings, guys. Bye.